Trump responds to the New Orleans attack, but this is about CNN trying to get things wrong, not being any help at all. Welcome to John, Mike, Keen. Pray for our country, pray for safety, especially over the next 20 days. Every clown in the world, every totalitarian around the world, including in our own country, know that they have to get away with this stuff before January 20th, when the adults get back in charge under the Trump administration.
President-elect Donald Trump delivered his first response to the tragic attack on Bourbon Street in a Truth Social post this morning. He's also using the post to make claims about the attacker that we have not heard backed up yet by law enforcement sources, some diverging from what we've heard from law enforcement sources. Elena.
They're going to spend a lot of time going after Trump's tweet about what they believe is wrong with it, but I'm going to prove to you how, in essence, it's right.
Well, Phil, I was told that Donald Trump has been receiving regular updates on the situation on the ground in New Orleans. He is being briefed on this by a source familiar with the matter.
I don't know about you, but I'm happy to know that President Trump is getting a brief on this, because even though Biden is getting a brief on it, no one is confident that that guy is going to do anything or has anything to do. In fact, right after the attack, where there was at least 12 people who died, Joe Biden wishes everyone a happy new year. It's like he's not even aware or reading his tweets or empathetic with the American people.
But I want to read for you what Donald Trump posted this morning in reaction to everything that's unfolding down there in New Orleans. He wrote, quote, "Our hearts are with all of the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil." Now, as you mentioned, Phil, Donald Trump also kind of commented on the crime rate in the United States. I'm going to read this for you too as well and then explain a bit. So he said, quote, "When I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media, but it turned out to be true. The crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has seen before." Now, to be clear, we actually have some new reporting from our colleagues Evan Perez and Priscilla Alvarez, and they are reporting that the suspect in Wednesday's deadly New Orleans crowd attack was a U.S. citizen, according to a source familiar with the matter as well.
And here's why that emphasis doesn't matter, because I see a lot of Democrats and Muslims on X trying to post, he was a U.S. citizen. He was a U.S. citizen. He's from Texas. He was driving a Ford. He served in our military. And those are all made to obfuscate the obvious. When Trump said that some of the worst criminals were coming from other countries, he didn't mean their DNA. I don't think he even meant their country of origin. It would be impossible for it to be about their country of origin, because we have great people from Arab states living here. We have great people from India living here, and we have great people from Mexico living here. When Trump says we need to remove these people and get rid of these bad dudes, he's talking about their culture. It's not foreign DNA. Now, this Jabbar guy was a member of ISIS, or carrying an ISIS flag. He's some kind of a terror cell. There were 4 other people with him. He was also a radical of some kind. The things that we know about him, by the way, is that he gave to Act Blue, which is a pro-Democrat, George Soros-funded charity with Mark Elias. They're trying to turn Texas blue through the vote, and they pay for all kinds of Democrats and stuff. And this Jabbar guy had given money to Act Blue under Hillary Clinton's campaign and during Joe Biden's campaign 4 years later. But he's radicalized in some way. And that's what Trump is against. It's not the DNA. So saying these bad dudes from other countries is shorthand. Don't bring your ISIS people over here. They should not be here. Even if they're born here, American citizens are radicalized all the time over the internet. And our FBI used to go and investigate them, looking for terror cells that were from Islamic countries or members of ISIS, even if they're born here in Texas. Now they're off looking for pro-life Catholics. They're too busy focusing on American citizens that do not fit any of these profiles. It's just like when you go on the airport and you have to get on a plane. Yes, they should be checking people for all kinds of materials. They don't need to check that Christian old lady in a wheelchair. Do some profiling, folks.
Look, I think, there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered here. Officials have not really released additional information on the suspect, but he is a U.S. citizen. So that part of Donald Trump's statement kind of speculating about the suspect's identity, we're told is not true. He is a U.S. citizen.
Well, because his name is Shabir Shamar or Jabbar, a name that literally means son, S-U-N, of the faith, meaning Muslim. So he is a Muslim of some kind. And remember, I've done positive videos on the Muslims voting for Trump in Michigan. So this is not an anti-Muslim thing. It is an anti-radicalized Muslim thing. We just have to be clear on this stuff. And I think Trump was jumping ahead of him, but it shouldn't bring you any peace because this guy could be a radical Islamist in our military. In his last army stint was in 2020. They could have infiltrated. Or even then, what does it say about our country if he's getting on the internet and being radicalized?
Not really. I mean, when you set aside people using an event like this for political purposes, as far as law enforcement is concerned, the FBI is always there for us. The ATF is always there. The state police are always there. Our focus is on solving crime. The focus is getting to the bottom of what took place. That has nothing to do with politics. That's just policing. And so this will have absolutely no bearing at all.
No, you're wrong. It does have to do with politics. And let me tell you why. So far, all of the people talking from the police force, from the FBI, they're all DEI hires. There's an old lady who got fired from San Francisco and is now running the New Orleans FBI. And she ran their DEI, their diversity hire division. She did all the training on it, period. So, okay, the other reason why this is political is all of these people are responding to Biden's weakness and to his FBI, which is more focused on diversity than solving crimes and busting bad guys. That's all there is to it. That is political. On January 20th, this all changes, guy. You're going to see a completely different FBI under Kash Patel. You're going to see a completely different Department of Justice under Pete Hegseth, which is why we have to get those people appointed. Tulsi Gabbard for National Intelligence. We're going to clean this stuff up. It is 100% political. Here's Alex Brusewitz. It is crucial for the Senate to move quickly in confirming Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, and all other national security-related appointees in President Trump's cabinet. Amen. Here's Island Paper breaking. There are at least 4 to 5 others involved in New Orleans attack, sources tell Fox. By the way, one of the members that are supposedly going away, that are in hiding, is a woman. Will they be looking for a hijab, or is that kind of profiling bad and racist? Here's Mike Davis. The fact Jabbar is a U.S. citizen makes it worse. All-American military veteran is executing ISIS attacks. The FBI must learn where he got radicalized. Are they going to start spying on his computer and their network, or are they going to keep going after Catholic pro-lifers? I'm John Mike Keene